G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And back in the mid-2010s, Renault and Honda were battling it out to set the Nürburgring lap record for a front-wheel drive car. Renault did it first with the Megane RS275 Trophy R, closely followed by Honda, who just beat them with the FK2 Civic Type R. But Volkswagen, being the automotive giant that they are, decided they couldn't let Renault and Honda steal the party. But if they were going to set a front-wheel drive lap record on the Nürburgring, well, they couldn't do it with the Golf R because, of course, that's four-wheel drive. So what they were going to have to do was take a GTi and make it faster. And that's exactly what this is, the Golf GTi Clubsport. It's got 19-inch wheels with very high performance Bridgestone Potenza S007A run flat tyres. There are aero changes to the front bumper. These little slats create an air curtain around the side, and the other ducts in there feed an extra oil cooler. Not only does it look totally unique and unlike any other Golf GTi, but all of the work that they did makes this a really fast Golf. And then we come to the engine. In essence, it's a familiar EA888, a 2-litre turbocharged inline 4 powering the front wheels. It's going through a 6-speed dual clutch transmission, although you could get these with a manual, and the Clubsport S in fact only came with a manual transmission. It makes right around 200 kilowatt or 260 horsepower normally, but for up to 10 seconds at a time it can give a burst of up to 290 brake horsepower, right around 220 kilowatt, to bring it very much in line with the Megane RS and Civic Type R. While it's not completely stripped out like the Clubsport S, it's definitely the highest performance Golf GTi that you can buy, which I like. And now, the interior. It's got an Alcantara steering wheel. The seats are completely different. It's got sort of Recaro looking GTI seats in here. They really are perfect, where they hold you in very well, but they're not too aggressively bolstered, and they look very cool, a bit like the wingbacks you could get in RS4s from a few years ago. Infotainment systems in these Volkswagens is really good, super easy to use. I like that it has physical controls, so you can easily click to where you want to go without having to use the touchscreen too much. This one also, amazingly, despite the very aggressive seats, has got heated seats, dual zone climate control, so you and your passenger can have your own temperatures on them. It's even got adaptive cruise, auto lights, a central multifunction display which can show your fuel economy, your speed, your oil temperature, lots of useful information in there. And this is something that's great about European cars, is that it'll have the raw driving experience with lots of power and whatnot, but they still leave the features in. Let's be honest, having heated seats might add 5 kilos worth of weight. It's not going to make any difference to your lap times, but on a cold wintry morning you'll certainly appreciate having them. This, I reckon, honestly, is probably one of my favourite Golfs. No one else has got one. It's a little bit different. It still has a great level of features on the inside. It's not too raw, but it's raw enough where it's a bit more special than a normal Golf. The Golf GTi Clubsport. Wow! This is one hang of a fast Golf, man. I reviewed a Stage 1 Mark 7 GTi and that thing felt pretty quick, but this, even though it's factory power, maybe just because of that bigger turbo, feels even quicker. This thing absolutely hauls. You can tell that this is no ordinary GTi. It feels light and nimble. The way it changes direction is phenomenal. Off the mark, how does it go? Oh, really strong, man. This is actually extremely impressive. Steering feel, excellent. You just know exactly what the front end's doing. It could be perhaps a little bit heavier, but at least it gives you great feedback as to what the car is doing. On some of this rough pavement, this is a very stiff car, but as a result, it is so sharp, eh? Holy moly, this is a quick GTi, man. And it does kind of make you wonder, like, there are a lot of people I've heard that buy a Golf R and go, actually, four-wheel drive kind of takes away from the driving experience a little bit because it's a little bit heavier, a little bit kind of safe and understeery, whereas this, second gear, there's no wheel spin at all. I would argue that this level of power doesn't really need all-wheel drive, and as a result, because it's that little bit lighter, this is a really fast and really nimble GTi. But it also kind of has a little bit of that fun factor, because when you put your foot down it, whoa, it yanks at the wheel in your hands, and it gets a little bit of scrabbly at the front, you know, it puts a smile on your face. I guess the only thing it could possibly do with it a little bit more exhaust noise. And even though this in theory has like an upgraded exhaust, which definitely really helps with the power, but it's also still that kind of safe, sensible Vag Group exhaust that you expect, even though this is their most hardcore GTi. So, the Golf GTi Clubsport. The best thing about this is that it's still a Golf. It's lovely to drive in any scenario. It has every feature you could ever need. It is a do-it-all car. But one of the faults with a standard Golf GTi is twofold. One is everyone's got one, so there's not a single thing special about them. And they're trying to be all things to all people, so they're not really outstanding in any particular area, which is why you have such a wide variety of people that tend to buy them. Whereas this has swung the pendulum a little bit more towards that raw driver's car that appeals to someone like me, and as a result, this is unlike any Golf that I've ever driven, where it's raw and really quick. It pulls right to redline, sounds great. It's that little bit sharper in the steering, sharper in the suspension, a little bit firmer. You can tell that they have put all the work into the drive rather than just making it kind of good in every area. And as a result, they've created what is, in my mind, one of the best GTIs around. If you want to see some other Golf GTI videos that I've done to see how this compares, then click on the links popping up right about now, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.